When you're playing in the sector, you need to understand certain regulations in that sector, the licenses you need to acquire, and the tax that you're due to pay. Ignorance is not an excuse. If you don't do that now, you will bleed later. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sherifat Ahmed, also known as the Startup Accelerator, and I'm black and beautiful. Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about why African startups fail, with Nigeria as case study, and I'll be giving you practical tips on how you can prevent your business from failing. Let's get into it. Let's start with the first one, African market reality. Nigeria is not Silicon Valley. You need to understand that in Nigeria, we're highly price sensitive. That is why you have someone pricing a product or a service that is worth 4,000 naira for 1,500 because they are trying to understand, why would you be charging me like this? You also need to understand that Nigeria is made up of 36 states, yes? Kano is not Abuja. Abuja is not Lagos. And Lagos is not Akure. So different states, different behaviors, different purchasing power. You need to understand that market to be able to sell your service or products. Also, infrastructure. If you're building a product or service that is dependent on perfect infrastructure, you need to understand that in some areas in Nigeria, we're still trying to figure out how to have a steady power supply, figuring out our logistics, or how to even have a steady and a strong internet connection, right? Now, you have to either find ways to make up for this lack, or you build your product or service tailored to this current reality. The next one is fear of missing out on funding. Funding FOMO is real. When founders hear about pitch events or demo days, or maybe an event where a potential investor is going to be, they run to wear their suits and tie and chase investors like their business is too dependent on it. We forget that being fundable is different from being profitable. Funding does not save a weak business. Why not put in as much, in fact, more effort that you put into chasing investors? Put it into building your business and making it sustainable, where it funds itself instead of looking for outside money. You need to understand that pitch decks don't keep the lights on in your business. Paying customers do. Put in more effort into making that business self-sustainable. Next is operational weakness. Let's talk about operations. A lot of Nigerian startups are chaotic. You don't have documented processes, no standard way of doing things. Only one person, say the founder, is everything. He's the sales, marketing, operations, customer service, everything. And by month 5, he's experiencing burnout. Energy is going down, customers are crying, business has packed up. I understand that you can't afford it. There are several ways you can bring in necessary resources into your business, either by leveraging relationships or striking deals. For example, exchanging equity for an expert to be part of your business and support you. You simply cannot scale chaos. The next is regulatory blind spots. This is something many founders underestimate. The Nigerian regulatory landscape is highly unpredictable, right? You need to factor this into any planning you're doing. Compliance fees, government levies, industry registrations, data protection rules. When you're playing in the sector, you need to understand certain regulations in that sector, the licenses you need to acquire, and the tax that you're due to pay. Ignorance is not an excuse. If you don't do that now, you will bleed later. Tax liabilities can swallow your profits. In Africa, compliance is not optional. Next, we have a mindset issues. A lot of founders are after vibes and validation and not necessarily value. That is why we are more concerned about number of downloads, how many likes or followers we have on our social media channel, rather than the number of active users we have using our solution. It is also why you have 10,000 downloads of your platform or your solution, but only 300 active users. We need to understand that these numbers don't pay the salaries of your staff, neither does it sustain the business. We currently have more influencer founders than founders who are looking to solve real problems, do real business, and create value. Also, this habit of not doing beta testing with an MVP before doing full-scale launch is really dangerous because you need to incorporate customers' feedback. You also need to understand that you're not building for yourself, but the customers, particularly in Nigeria, where adoption is really slow. They have to see the value in what you're selling to them to agree to use it. I know you have been watching this video, but you are not subscribed. Why? Don't you want to see me come back? Please subscribe, turn on, you see that bell? Click on it, turn on notifications so whenever I post, you're the first person to know. Do something for me, click on the subscribe button. Finally, how do we survive? 1. Validate before building. Interact with customers. 2. Test with an MVP. Build to solve the core problem first, and then you can scale after taking feedbacks. There can be several versions of your solution. 3. Document from day one. SOPs are not for big companies. They are how you become one. 4. Get guidance on compliance very early to avoid stories that touch. 5. Grow slowly and strategically. Don't follow the noise on social media. Please build a business that can sustain itself through revenue. Avoid the noise. It is very unnecessary. African founders don't need to build like the West. We need more African context solutions. If this video helped you, please subscribe. But first, tell me what is the major challenge you're facing building in Africa or doing business in Africa. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with a founder who is trying to figure out how to thrive in this market. And see you in my next one. Bye.